In this episode, we sit down with one of Malaysia's leading menopause advocates, a woman at the forefront of pushing boundaries, raising awareness, and creating safe spaces for conversation and education.
It started from my own experience when I was going through perimenopause, and I had no clue that I was going through perimenopause. And only when I was coming out on the other side of it, which meant that my hormones were starting to stabilize, did I realize, oh, that was perimenopause. And it got me thinking, where are women going? Do they even know that they're in perimenopause? And that started me on this journey of discovering that there is a huge gap for women, understanding their own bodies as well as understanding that it's menopause and where to go. And that is the birth of Menopause Asia, connecting women with doctors so they can get real help. Well, I haven't seen this a lot, but I am starting to see women celebrating menopause. Not a lot of women, but I do encourage the women around me that as you are approaching menopause, when you realize that you have hit menopause, which means 12 months without your menses, celebrate it. Celebrate it as if you just found out you got pregnant. It's just find a way to have a celebration, throw a menopause party, and just change that narrative, because it is such a pivotal time for a woman. And you are going to be spending the rest of your life in menopause. In fact, for most women who get to live that long, and it is a privilege, you realize that you are actually in postmenopause longer than you are fertile. So you want to make sure that you celebrate this moment really well, because it is truly a privilege. Well, it changes everything, doesn't it? Firstly, women are often the one that is helming a home. So if a woman just keeps quiet and trudges on, it doesn't change anything. But when a woman decides, you know what, I'm just going to speak up, and she finds a community that can support her, whether or not it's her home, her spouse, her family, or even beyond that, that changes the entire atmosphere and the entire community, because now other women don't feel afraid to share it. So that really has a ripple effect. So in Malaysia, we have this thing called the just tahan culture, which means that women are taught to just endure it, to keep silent, to not question or seek help. I feel like the biggest challenge here is just for women to know that they don't have to push through, they don't have to just manage, which usually means they're not doing anything about it. There is help, there is support, there is therapy. And so I think the biggest challenge is educating women to be aware that there is help out there. Yeah, so data is very important, but it's stories that really move women. When I hear a story from another woman, I tend to lean in because I want to hear how it can affect me as well. When I read data, it's like head knowledge, but the other one, it moves me to action. And so storytelling is important, but it's important to also tell the story in, I guess, a more positive way. There's a tendency for women to be very fearful of menopause. I hear women say, oh, I don't think I'm in menopause yet, and almost like a sigh of relief. But what if we shift this narrative and go, actually, you know what? It's something for women to look forward to, because it is an empowering time. In fact, this inflection point can determine how you want to live the rest of your life post-menopause. In Chinese, we actually call this the second spring, because it's a time to reassess and it's a time to come back. I am 50 years old and I am post-menopause, and I've decided that this is going to be the happiest time of my life, and I've decided to start a new business. So it can be a very empowering time in a woman's life. Don't be afraid of menopause. In fact, look forward to it. be very excited. This is going to be the best time in your life, your most pivotal moment. It is so liberating. You are free from fear. You are free of what other people think. The things that matter will still matter. The things that don't matter, you will be able to let go in this phase in your life. So my call to action, be excited. If you get to live this long, and that is a privilege because we are living longer and longer. If you look at 100 years ago, women did not have this privilege. So if you view it as such a privilege, you would embrace it. You would steward it. You would not squander this moment, and make sure that you live your best years.
Stay tuned for our next talk as we continue to explore the journey, challenges, and strength of women through menopause.